Right, lights, camera, action. So on this week's show, we have from the ScareCrows breaking crew, we have the incredible B-girl LeeBee. How you doing?
Yeah, not bad. How are you?
Yeah, great to have you on board. It's an honour to to get you on the show and talk about your history and how you got into like breaking and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's going to be a really nice piece of history. But one thing I want to do just before we get started, because we're in the lockdown session, so basically we're all locked in, we're not allowed to go out because we're trying to battle this virus. So I'd like to give a massive shout out to all the doctors, nurses and all the key workers out there battling this virus to basically keep us safe. Right, LeeBee, first question I got for you is whereabouts are you from and what was it like growing up as a youngster?
Well, I'm from the southwest, so people say we're like farm town, like farmers, Gloucestershire. So, yeah, it was good growing up. I think I used to annoy everybody, making them do dance routines all the time. So, that's all I kind of like doing. Just watching it on telly. My dad was like a Northern Soul DJ back in the day. So
oh, was he? Oh, wow.
He had the Motown and the Northern Soul, so I used to come with him and like pass his records. And I used to watch all the dancing. And I thought, oh yeah, like that's what I need to do, sort of just have the passion for it.
Them northern soul dancers are really nice dancers, and the music's brilliant as well.
Definitely, yeah, they probably like go for it as well. So I thought, yeah, that's something I need to sort of do, but I just didn't know what angle or where I was going to go with it. You see?
Yeah. So that's basically how you sort of got into dancing at an early age, is through that kind of northern soul scene.
Yeah. So basically, like when I was at school, I used to make my friends go down the park, and I used to get like a cassette tape, and I used to make them do routines to TLC. And every weekend, I'd go around with friends, and I'd be like, "Come on, let's dance!" And they'd be like, "Oh God, you have to!" And I was like, "Yeah, let's dance." And then we used to buy the big batteries for the ghetto blasters and stuff. And I just didn't care. I just loved it, And it's only when I got to about 16, obviously going out to the nightclubs, and I saw a girl dancing in the cages. Doing like, and I thought, yeah, because I used to look, because all I ever done was freestyle. I never really was good at like routines or anything because I couldn't remember them anyway. So I just thought, well, I'll just like freestyle, that'll be perfect. And then basically I just used to dance in all the clubs, like wearing the hot pants and little tops. When I say podium, people think I mean pole dancers. Not. It's like we keep clothes on and you just freestyle. So I did that for many years. And then obviously when I found like b-boying, so halfway through that.
You turned to being a B-girl, yeah. So what era was you kind of growing up in? Would it be kind of like the late 80s and like 90s era?
Well, I was born in 83, so I was kind of like Madonna, wasn't it, and all that. And I liked the rave. I was into happy hardcore, and I liked a bit of the jungle. And
yeah. So you was kind of like the late 80s era, kind of early 90s.
That's it, yeah.
And so, what kind of, what was the kind of the spark that lit the flame for you to get into, into hip hop?
I think it's because when I was doing all the podium dancing, you didn't really get the respect you wanted, because obviously what you was wearing. And I thought to myself, I need to sort of want people to look at me and respect me for the dancing and not what I look like. So basically, the first B-girl I ever saw was B-girl Laugh from Physical Jerks. We used to have a battle called Screech and Breaks, and she was my first B-girl I ever saw. And the respect that she got when she battled, I thought, yeah, I've so got to get into it. I thought this is what I want. So there was like our local like Gloucester crew. So there was like Stan, there was B-boy Visa, and obviously B-boy Smurf, and they used to teach classes. And I thought, well, I thought I can dance, but I just need to like learn how to do the moves and obviously the footwork, because I just didn't have a clue. And then I used to go to like a pub, like pay like a £5, and then I just like used to learn all the moves, but used to fall on my head, and I just kept practicing, So kind of like that's really probably why I wanted to get into it. So.
And how often was you practicing? Was you kind of on this thing, like a few hours a day to try and kind of conquer the kind of that breaking them breaking moves?
Yeah, well, basically we used to have a place called the Guild Hall, like on a Tuesday, and I used to go after work, and I used to basically go for a day and you know, just practice. And then obviously at home I used to practice my dancing. You know, I used to watch the TV, try and copy the moves. I used to think I was like pop star or something, but you know, I just used to like try and practice, and then I just think, well, you know, I'll just do it my way, but my style. And then like people used to say to me, oh, you know, just enter some battles, and I thought, oh, I don't know. So literally, I started entering like sort of local battles, and I can remember there was a girl called BGIRL Tracy, and she was from Bristol, and obviously, like I didn't obviously understand about the b-boy scene. I didn't know about battling. I didn't really know anything. I just basically just do it for fun. And obviously, when you practice with your own crew, you kind of like copy each other's moves, you know, and it's not really a big deal. But she kind of done a similar move to one of the b-boys, and she came up to me in my first b-girl battle with b-girl H in Bournemouth, and she came up to me, like, I want to battle you. I was like, eh? I was like, what? Battle you, stole my move. And I was like, what move? And she told me, and I was like, I didn't see it from you. And she hated me from then. And like, I just thought, oh my God, that was the first time someone like called me out. You know, I didn't really understand it then. But years later, she remembers who I am.
And did you kind of make it up, like, you know, years later down the line?
I know we didn't really say anything, but I think she sort of, because obviously where I got a little bit better, you know, I think she didn't really say anything, but I remember everything, like, you know, when you first start. So
yeah. It's the great times. And what was the crew you was in, you know, back then? What was the crew called?
And the first crew I was in was called Toy Soldiers. So it was just basically a Gloucestershire crew.
Toy Soldiers.
Yeah, that was like a little sort of starting off crew. There was like Big Old Rach, Jaboo. There was a couple of like there's like hip hop dancers in there as well. And there's like two girls. And there's like two lads, and everyone had their own little style, but it worked. You know, there's like Harry Jackson. It was just everyone just had their own thing, and it worked. You know, and we just done it for fun. We didn't really think we did anything special. We just sort of just did little shows, and you know, turn up to competitions. But to us, it's more like sort of meeting people and having fun. You know.
Yeah. So it's kind of going back to the kind of the days when we used to do it around kind of like 1983, where, you know, you just go out, have a bit of fun and a bit of a laugh, and you know, it was all like fun times.
Yeah, exactly. It's only like when I first saw PRS, and I saw J, Super J, that was in a Bristol jam, that was, and they just killed it. I just thought, oh my God, I need to sort of train with them or like hang out with them, and then obviously
you need to kind of up your game a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. I just thought I just need to be me and just sort of like, you know, represent like where I'm from, and you know, and I think with us down here, we got our own style. You know, we don't really dance like nobody else. We just do our thing, and you know, just listen to the music, you know, and feel it. And that's what they did. They had no messing. It was just pure, like, you know, straight in, bang, you know, and you know, and back in them days, if you was whack, they would tell you you're whack, you know, and you'd be like, oh, I thought I was all right, you know. So yeah, so basically I got into the ScareCrows, and obviously me and Super J have been doing all the battles ever since.
And who's in the ScareCrows?
Oh God, there's a D-Man, there's obviously like Banksy, obviously Joey did a little bit, there was like Dana, and there's quite a lot of other people as well, but I can't remember because they're all like the old school ones. I don't remember. It's only basically sort of like earlier on, but that's all the ones I remember really.
And which area are the ScareCrows sort of mainly from? Are they mainly from kind of your area? Are they kind of like all over?
Swindon, so they sort of reference Swindon. So, but I think a lot of them travelled out, but then still battled and did little bits, because I think they had some lockers in their crew as well, but I can't remember their names.
I mean, I absolutely love the name of the crew. I mean, to be honest with you, I think it's one of the best breaking crew names I've ever heard. I mean, the ScareCrows, I mean, you know, it sounds absolutely like brilliant. Have you got any idea where the name come from?
I think it's I think Colin, the graffiti artist, I think he come up with the name ScareCrows. And obviously being like farmers, I think it's kind of like what people represent us as, you know, Southwest. And
right, so that's kind of the connection with the countryside and the ScareCrows on the farms and all that.
Basically, so who are and all that.
And the image, like the image that you've got of the Scarecrow is quite, you know, it's a fantastic image as well. It looks absolutely brilliant.
Thank you. Yeah.
Who come up with the logo of the Scarecrow? Any idea?
It's basically Colin and Super J. They just basically, you know, Super makes a lot of clothes. You know, he gets material and he can make a tracksuit, and he can draw. He like customizes everything. You know, he does roll like kings. That's his thing. He does that as well. So yeah, mainly Super J and Colin. Yeah.
Yeah. So and also, like, who was basically inspiring you from back in the day? I mean, did you obviously you was a little bit too young to watch at the time when they come out, films like Wild Style, Beat Street, Breakdance, them kind of films. But did you watch them at a later date to kind of get ideas about like certain moves and things like that?
I did, yeah. Like obviously, like Beat Street and Breakdance 1 and 2. Obviously, people say like some of the things a bit cheesy, but you know, it had the sort of kind of essence of it all. You know, with the tracksuits and everyone looking fresh. Like if you know, if you want to battle, you battle, and obviously it's graffiti and it's like DJing, it's everything. You know, that's what I thought b-boying was all about. It's not just like one thing; it's like everything. You
Well,
know,
that's right. You know, it's like the real kind of hip hop culture. It's not just about someone emceeing on the mic. You know, you got all the elements there. You know, you got the breaking, the popping, the graffiti art, the DJing, even a bit of beatboxing, and you know, all these different kind of elements, all in, you know, coming under that one umbrella of hip hop.
Yeah, but do you know what though? Like me and Super went to Rocksteady 30th anniversary.
Whereabouts?
And
What, in New
New
York?
York. Yeah,
What,
and we went.
Christina Park?
That's it. Yeah. Oh, sick. Yeah, it was sick. We just basically you know, like just jamming like in the Bronx and like getting through like Brooklyn and like Harlem and just jamming and that, and you know, and they're like, "Where are you from?" And you're like, "Oh, England, isn't it? UK, what?" And they're just like, "Oh man," like, and it just respects, you know, it just shows you no matter around the world you're from, you know, everyone's quite sound, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, well,
Unless they want.
well, you know, the good thing about this breaking thing and the popping thing and all that, I mean, it's absolutely huge now. I mean, it seems to be bigger now than what it was back in the day.
Yeah, it's mad. I think it's changed a lot, I think, than it used to be. It's a lot different. Obviously, there's a lot more people doing it, but there's a lot more, you know, there's a lot more B-girls. You know, there was not really loads of B-girls back in the day. You know, there was B-girl Firefly. I think there was B-girl Chili, B-girl Ladybird, and obviously Flow's crew. They were like the first B-girl crew that I saw. You know, and I, you know, I used to go to these jams, and I used to be scared to throw down because I'd be like, oh my god, them girls are good. They can do windmills, they can do head spins, you know. And now it's just like, you know, there's B-girl, Eddie, Tara, Sammy, they're three sisters. They're like proper sick.
They're amazing, aren't they? Yeah, they're brilliant.
They're just like, they feel it and they do it. And then there's obviously Regina, Minnie, everyone from like up north, south. There's someone from somewhere, you know, that's like sick, you know.
And because kind of being a B girl, I mean, it's quite a kind of like a small thing. I mean, being a B boy, there's loads and loads of B boys all over the place. But being a B girl, you know, it's quite a unique thing to be doing. I mean, there's not really many B girls around. So do you kind of know each other? Do you kind of you know, do you talk to each other via social networks and things like that?
And like you got like, it's like anything, isn't it? If you're in a workplace, you get certain people you talk to more. It's the same with like the B girl, and you know, I respect all of them. You know, they respect me. You know, it's like, you know, you do your thing, I do my thing. You know, and then obviously when you jam, you know, everyone's got their own style. You know, like with me, I like to look fresh. You know, I put my Pumas on, I put my tracksuit on. I like to look like stand out and be different. You know, I can't just rock up in any old clothes. You know, it's all about image as well as dancing and feeling it.
100%. It's all about getting into that kind of character.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I couldn't. You know, just if you feel fresh, you know, you look fresh. You just so much better. You know.
Yeah,
it's your character.
And being a B girl as well, did you ever go up against like B boys, against the guys? Did you ever battle the guys, or did you kind of fear them a bit?
Not really, because you know, obviously, you know, I don't do crazy power moves, but you know, with me, it's always been about the dancing, about, you know, top rocking, you know,
Footwork.
Yeah, and you know, some b-boys, like, they got the power, but sometimes they haven't got that flavour.
And got the style.
Yeah, and sometimes you can beat them because you just listen to the music and you can just get down and get nitty gritty, you know. But it's all good, like if you do a head spin, but you need something else. You can't. It's just, or it's just gymnastics, you know. This is like a dance form, isn't it?
I mean, back in the day in London, you know, when I used to see the breakers break, I mean, you know, there was a handful of breakers that would really stand out to me, and that would be like Hallett from Live to Break crew, and like Dolby from London All Stars crew, you know, them kind of, and Pervez and all them lot. I mean, their kind of style, it really kind of stood out.
Exactly. And like obviously second to none, you know, they're pretty
second
sick,
to
like,
none, yeah.
And you know, there's so many crews out there, like also like b-boys, you know, you're still smashing it, you know.
I mean, you know, second to none are an amazing crew. I mean, you know, this is all kind of new to me because I stopped kind of breaking around 1985. I kind of stopped the breaking thing. But, you know, years later down the line, I heard about Second to None, and I tell you what, they was absolutely incredible. I mean, Tony the Pencil, I mean, his head spins were unbelievable, you know.
And they're pretty sick, and obviously they like the break, obviously, and then they like DJ as well. But like there's so many, there's like, you know, in UK there's up and coming crews, obviously. There's like you know, Soul Mavericks is obviously representing the UK. There's, you know, I love the Derby like Warriors. You know, there were so many crews that I just used to look up to, and like Bad Taste, and you know, and Foundations, you know, because obviously back in the day it was Breaking Bread, and that's what I used to go to, you know, with some people from like back Gloucester, you know, and it's just so refreshing to go somewhere where like no one knows you, and then you just sort of, you know, you've got to get in the circle because you think, oh my god, like, you know, and then once you hear that song, like with me, like it's got to be that song, you know, obviously James Brown does it for me, like funk is my thing. I love it. Anywhere funk, I'm straight in.
You're straight into Well, LeeBee, that was going to be one of the questions I was going to ask you. Was there like a handful of songs that would really kind of get you fired up?
Yeah. Well, obviously, I like the old school b-boys, like, you know, like Mexican, obviously, like, you know, all funk,
Babe
obviously.
Ruth.
Yeah, that's it. And obviously, I like James Brown's obviously my favourite, you know, like as soon as I hear that, that's it, you know. But sometimes with battles with me, if there's a song I don't really like, I can't dance to it. I feel bad. I know you could, like, being a dancer or whatever, you can dance to anything, but just some tunes is boring, especially when it's just got a beat and no funk, no like nothing.
No soul or no funk.
I think nowadays, I think they tend to sort of mix a lot of because there's all different styles of dance, you know, like house and pop in, and you know, if you go to jam, it's obviously like all different types of music. They kind of blend together. You know, sometimes I think, oh, not really feeling this music, so I just sort of like go outside or something, or just do my own thing and.
I mean, you like that kind of original style of b-boying music, you know, what they was playing back in the, you know, in the Bronx back in the era, those kind of breaks and funk and all that kind of stuff.
Definitely. It's like, sorry, my dog's barking at me. Shush. Yeah, that's how I like first learned, you know, like that's what I used to listen to. And, you know, you go to some jams and they don't really play a lot of them, these classics, you know. I don't know why. Maybe it's just because the new generation, they like maybe have their own mixes, I don't know, but that's what I prefer anyway. Like, so, you know, by the battle, being in like a funk James Brown song, I just know that's it, I'm gonna kill it. I'm like, yes, like, and then if you don't have a tune I don't like, I'm like, oh god.
Yeah, like, you like stand back.
Like, Super J, you go first. Like,
yeah. Send Jay in first. And big shout out to Super J as well.
Yeah.
Big shout out to Super J. Have you had any sort of like really kind of fierce battles where it's kind of, you know, where it's kind of got on top? I mean, have you lost battles?
Oh yeah, like, you know, I've lost a lot of battles, you know. Sometimes it's like I said, it always depends on the judging, you know, and obviously who knows who, and you know, and like I've done my battling, you know, like it's like for me, it's always been about fun, you know, and a lot of people like b-boys or b-girls, you know, want to take it to the next level, be serious, you know, and it's like proper like life, you know. But for me, it's just basically it made me escape you know, with troubles, you know, because my mum was poorly for a very long time, but she passed away last year. So
No, I
kind of
know, I
like,
know, I know, and I'm really, really sorry, you know, to have heard that as well.
yeah, but you know, it just makes you realise life's too short. And you know, my
Yeah,
mum loved the dance. You know, dance for me is escape from, you know, reality. You know, everyone's sort of day-to-day life, work. You know, it's just something you come to do. You go dance to forget about your problems, and you
yeah,
know,
that's
and
right. Well, you know, lot of interviews I do with a lot of artists, and you know, whoever it is, they kind of, including myself as well, that we always say that it's kind of like music kind of saved our life. We was like, it zones us out, you know, it takes us to a totally different place.
it's kind of like it's from your heart, you know. In the day, like you know, we wouldn't be doing this like things that we do if we didn't love doing it. And you know, and it kind of like takes you through many doors. You know, like you know, I've done stuff on TV like where people like my style. You know, and I've done bits, and you know, it's nice to sort of you know, like I taught myself to dance, but like obviously learn moves off obviously b-boys because obviously I didn't know what to do with my legs and arms. But you kind of like you learn the basics, and then you just make it your own, you know, and then you go somewhere and you just throw down, and then you know that's it, isn't it? It's me, you know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, well, the maddest thing is the first time I see you, well, I think it might have been about 4 or 5 or 6 years ago. It was a doing one of the Beeline do's, a specific and Whirlwind D do, and that's the first time I see you. And I said to specific, I was like, "Who's that throwing down there?" He was on the mic going, "Yeah, go on, look like LeeBee from the ScareCrows," and you was doing all these wicked moves. And that's the first time that I'd come across you, and I thought, you know, you've got something really special what you're doing. You kind of stood out from quite a few people that was breaking.
Yeah. I think with me, I just don't know. I just think I get in the zone, and I just, you know, every song or whatever throw down, I just give it my all, you know. And
Mm.
it's just like, it just, it kind of takes. It's like the music takes over your body, and you just kind of get in there and jam, you know. And obviously, you know, I've had battles where, you know, like you get friendly battles, you get nasty battles, you know. But like if anyone come my face, they just get it back, you know. Like, you know, I don't disrespect nobody, you know, got no beef with no one, you know, I have a good time, but you know, you always get that one who wants some. So you think, right, bring it on, you know,
Yeah,
have it.
yeah,
So
yeah. Let's battle.
yeah, let's battle. Like, you know, I'm like, right, hold my flag and going in, you know.
And
And obviously like
when I see you in Bournemouth at the Beeline jam, there was a key move that you done where, and Super J done it as well, where you went like a scarecrow, and you done this kind of like scarecrowing type pose, like a scarecrow on you know, this on the cross type thing. I mean, is that like a key move?
no, I think we got quite a few. I think when we're battling, we just sort of kind of go, you know, and we go, oh yeah, we've got like loads of bits like we do, and I suppose it depends what we're doing, where we're going, and who's there, and what we or what we remember as well. I'm like, oh yeah, like you know. And the thing is as well, like me and Super J, you know, we do a lot of judging as well, and obviously like with me, like I'm not a textbook B girl or B boy, you know. I basically go to what I feel like I like.
Mm.
So sometimes you judge a competition and you know, and someone come up to you and say, "Oh, why didn't you put me through?" You know, and you know, it's nothing personal about how they dance or what they do. Is how you feel on the day, you know. And then obviously, you know, they confront you, and then obviously you say what you think, and then you think that's it, but then you sort of hear things that they're saying, you know. And I just think that's kind of a coward way of like, you know, if you're not happy, you either battle it out or you talk about it and say it in front of your face. You know, you get a
Mm.
lot of people face after on your back, and I'm straight up. You know, you've got something to say it to my face. That's
Yeah,
what
yeah.
you know.
It's like the old school way of doing things. You don't
Yeah,
talk behind people's back. You just tell it how it is to your face.
you know, and obviously like I don't do the old. I don't internet. I don't like writing stuff. You know, if I don't like someone or if I got a problem, I wait. You know, till I see them. You know, and that's how I am. You know, old school, I suppose. You know, straight up.
No, no. There's no school like the old school.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And another question I was going to ask you, actually, we kind of touched on it earlier, was about fashion, style and fashion. I mean, what does it take to become that kind of, you know, that B girl? I mean, I'm looking now down the camera at what you're wearing, and I can see from what you're wearing now, you know, you've got that look going on. You know, you're wearing the pink with probably a pink pair of like trainers, and you've got the, you know, the hats and all that. So, you know, is that like you getting into kind of like character mode?
I suppose. I mean, with me, like, you know, I've always liked bright colours. You know, I like to look fresh. You know, I try and mix things together. It don't really match, but I make it work. You know, I've got a drawer for the Kangol. I've got like the Pumas. You know, my fur jacket. Like, you know, like, hang on, like rock up in your fur jackets. You know what I mean?
I
Like,
love that jacket.
for it. And like, you know, just be yourself. You know, there's no rules in this b-boying about be a certain way. You know, just be yourself. You know, and if you want to try something different, try it. Who's there here to judge? No one.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And the main thing is that you enjoy it, and that's what it's all about. And as long as you enjoy it, like back in the day, it was, you know, peace, unity, love, and having fun. They was kind of like what we was kind of aspiring to.
Exactly. I mean, I prefer going to the jams where, you know, it's like, you know, like a dingy club. You know, the music's good. It's like glass on the floor, beer on the floor. Do you know what I mean? That's how I used to remember like it being. Like, you know, now it's kind of different. It's kind of like gym halls, isn't it? And it's very clean. You know, it's just it's. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's still good, but it's just different to how it was back in the day. And obviously, like Super J and the South do concrete battles, Bones and Stones, and we wanted to do it like, you know, like just b-boy. You know how it was, just get down on the street and just jam. You know,
What's Bones on the Stones? Is that where they like do breaking on cobblestones?
yeah, just basically just jamming on the concrete. You know, Bones of the Stones. You know.
I know my man Dolby D would be good at that, because he was good on the old cobblestones in Covent Garden.
Big up Double D, what? Yeah, man. But we did, like I said, you know, we did quite a few. We have done one for a while, but we used before the B-boy champs. You know, we used to do one at Brixton, in the skate park. You know, I think like the day before or the day after, and yeah, everyone used to come down and throw down, and you know,
Jam.
maybe or like skull medal, you know, and obviously get clothes for people for winning, and you know, and that's what it is for me. Just enjoy yourself, you know. Don't turn up like, you know, something special. Just jam, like, you know, have fun in it.
And is there any kind of like big highlights for you as well?
So many like highlights. I mean, it's hard to remember really. It's always the ones where you go somewhere and you end up having a battle with someone just random, and they're the best. They're not planned. You know, like I'd rather go somewhere to enjoy the night, and then you just end up battling someone or somewhere. You know, and I think they're the best because it's not planned. You know, just
Yeah, just
get back.
off the cuff.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
And have you suffered much from like injury or anything like that? Because, you know, like being a breaker, you know, I mean, I haven't done it for years, but you know, my back, I wouldn't be able to do it now because of my back and my knees.
Yeah. Well, actually, I popped because I do boxing as well. So I hurt my leg about 3 years ago, and obviously my left leg, certain movement, it pops out, but then I just pop it back in. But you know, I think you're meant to have an operation, but I don't think I can sit down long enough for that. So it's just like wear and tear your body over the years. You know, you feel aches and pains, but then as soon as the music comes on, you soon forget about it, and then it's obviously the next day you can't walk for probably a day or so.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Nice.
Especially when you on your head and stuff, and like the elbow like floor burns, and you know, it's just you just kind of like style the pain.
The worst one is for us guys when we're doing the head spins. That's why, you know, we've got quite a few kind of like ball patches about, do you know what I mean, where we've been spinning around on our heads.
Yeah, I know, bless you. At least you put
Did what?
you know,
Put
you can put a hat on it.
Put a tin hat on.
Yeah, just hide it out.
Put a tin hat on. And is there kind of like any advice you can give like up and coming B-girls?
Just basically, what is that? Just basically to you know, just enjoy yourself. You know, don't be afraid to be yourself, and you know, like we're all here to help. You know, if you see me at a jam or whatever, come up to me and say, oh, you know, like with me, if I like someone or like if I see something in a B-girl, I'll come up to her and I'll say like, oh, you know, you should do this, or you know, like it's not all about the music, it's all about everything else. You know, having a character, just being yourself. You know, and I said even if you just walk on, you know, just brush your arms off, you know, flip your hair, you know, you know, let them know you're here. you know, just it's all like that. It's not just going in and going out. You got to be like, right, here I am. This is me. I'm going to do what I want to do and get down. If you don't like
That's
it,
right, and I ain't messing about.
yeah, yeah, and you know, and there's a lot, you know, there are some good up and coming B-girls, you know, and I think like nowadays it's a lot more nicer. Obviously, when I used to like do it back in the day, people would just be like, "You're whack." I'd be like, "Oh my god, I'm not whack." And they're like, "You are," you know, and you know, and it used to hurt your feelings, but it's not like that now. It's a bit more friendlier.
So any B girls, you know, younger B girls watching this, you know, because you know you have got a rep out there. So what's the best way, you know, that they can get in touch with you to ask you for like any kind of advice? Can they follow you on like Instagram or Twitter or Facebook?
Yeah, Instagram, like, you know, LeeBee BGIRL, obviously on Instagram, but my name's different on Facebook because I've done something wrong. I couldn't change my name back, but it's LeeBee's obviously the name, but Lena B is on Facebook. But yeah, message me like anytime, you know, or if you ever see me at Jam, just say, like, you know, we're all here to help each other, aren't we? So
That's right, and
know.
it's all about each one teach one.
Exactly, yeah. It's good though to see girls. I love it when I see the girls. I'm like, let's get in there, you know.
Well, listen, LeeBee, it's been an absolute brilliant time chatting to you. I hope you've enjoyed this.
Yeah, no, I've enjoyed it. Like, you know, obviously, you know, big shout out to all the crews in the UK. Obviously, I can't remember everyone's name, so I'm a bit dyslexic. So, but you know, I'm one of those people. I keep myself to myself, you know. But you know, I see it all goes on. You know, I just do my own thing, and you know, and just enjoy yourself and that.
No,
So,
listen, no, everybody out there, they see you. I mean, I see you, and when you hit that dance floor, you know, I knew that, you know, you were special. You had this thing going on. So, you know, I'll take my hat off to you.
thank you very much.
We do a bow. We do a little bow. But listen, anybody watching this this interview with me and LeeBee, please subscribe to this channel. Watch my other interviews I've done. Interviewed Dolby D from London All Stars, Purvis from Live to Break, Hallett from Live to Break. I've interviewed Public Enemy, I've interviewed Man Parish, and I've got loads and loads of interviews lined up. So please subscribe to this channel. And LeeBee, have you enjoyed this?
I forgot to give a shout out to my girl, Little Z. There's another big girl, Liz, I dance with. I didn't give her a shout out to her, but I was going to give her a big shout out because she was there for me when my mum passed away. You know,
Yeah.
so you know, they big up. You know, she's my like dance partner as well. So, but
I've seen you two dancing together. You're brilliant. She's got darker hair, hasn't she?
Yeah, she's come from like a street dance background, but she's obviously getting into the B-girling, you know. But it works because I think if you've got a different style, you can make it your own and it can work, you know. Like I said, there's no rules.
Yeah, and obviously a big shout out to, you know, to your dad and your sisters and everybody else as well.
Yeah, and yourself and all your family, and you know, every night there, and you know, being safe. I know it's boring saying it, but you know, it's not forever, is it? So
nah, we'll battle through this and we'll get through it.
yeah, exactly. Just do some dancing. Oh, whack the music on.
Exactly. I'll bust a few little moves.
And let's have a jam, innit?
Well, LeeBee, I'll let you go because I've got to shoot off myself. But listen, absolute honour and a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you very much for your time.
All right, peace. Peace out.
Peace.